What if the greatest mystery of the ancient world is more real than we've ever imagined? For centuries, the lost city of Atlantis has been a source of fascination, speculation, and endless debate. Its story has traveled through generations, captivating historians, explorers, and dreamers alike. But why does this ancient tale hold such power over us? And why do we keep searching for a city that may have never existed? The story of Atlantis begins with one of history's greatest philosophers, Plato. Over 2,000 years ago, Plato wrote about Atlantis in two of his works, Timaeus and Critias. He described a powerful and advanced civilization that thrived over 9,000 years before his time. According to his account, Atlantis was a utopia, a land of immense wealth, technological advancements, and unparalleled beauty. Its people lived in harmony, enjoying a golden age of prosperity. But, as the legend goes, their hubris led to their downfall. The gods, angered by their arrogance, destroyed Atlantis in a single day and night, submerging it beneath the ocean. It's a tale that blends the mythical with the possible. Was Atlantis a real place, a cautionary allegory, or a bit of both? This enduring question is what keeps the legend alive. The idea of a highly advanced civilization lost to time is as thrilling as it is haunting. It invites us to wonder, if Atlantis existed, what could it teach us about the rise and fall of civilizations, and what remnants of its existence might still be hidden beneath the waves? The mystery of Atlantis has captivated humanity for millennia because it touches on universal themes: power, knowledge, and the fragility of human ambition. The possibility of uncovering a lost world beneath the ocean resonates deeply with our innate curiosity and our desire to understand the past. Atlantis is not just a city, it's a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that history is still full of unanswered questions waiting to be explored. What sets this story apart is how it blends the real and the mythical. On the one hand, we have Plato's detailed descriptions, so precise that many believe he was referencing a real place. On the other, the story's fantastical elements make it easy to dismiss as fiction. But what if the truth lies somewhere in between? What if recent discoveries and advanced technology are bringing us closer to uncovering evidence of this fabled city? This video will delve into the evidence and perspectives you've likely never heard before, shedding light on one of history's most enduring mysteries. The legend of Atlantis has sparked countless theories about its existence and location. From the Mediterranean to the Atlantic, and even as far as Antarctica, explorers and researchers have scoured the globe in search of clues. Modern technology has made this quest more feasible than ever. With advancements in sonar mapping, satellite imagery, and underwater archaeology, we are now closer than ever to unraveling the truth about Atlantis. But what makes this search so compelling is not just the possibility of discovery, but the questions it raises about human history. Could Atlantis have been an advanced society that predates even our earliest known civilizations? If so, what caused its downfall, and what lessons could it offer us today? The story of Atlantis is more than an ancient myth. It's a doorway into the past. It challenges our understanding of history and reminds us of the vast unknowns that still exist on this planet. Whether Atlantis is a real place, a symbolic tale, or something in between, its legacy endures because it speaks to the core of what it means to be human: the desire to seek, to discover, and to understand. In this video, we will explore new evidence and dive into perspectives that go beyond the mainstream narratives. This is not just another retelling of the Atlantis story, it's an investigation into the clues, controversies, and mysteries that make this tale one of the greatest puzzles in human history. From ancient texts to modern scientific discoveries, we'll uncover details you've never heard before, providing a fresh look at the lost city of Atlantis. Could this ancient legend be rooted in reality? Let's find out together. Atlantis in historical context. Atlantis is more than just a captivating story. It is one of the most debated mysteries in human history. Its origins can be traced back to two of Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE. These philosophical works offer the only known account of Atlantis from antiquity, laying the foundation for all subsequent discussions about the fabled city. In these dialogues, Plato presents Atlantis as a once great civilization, rich in wealth, culture, and knowledge, whose downfall serves as a cautionary tale for humanity. But was it a real place, an allegory, or something in between? Plato's dialogues, the first mentions of Atlantis. Plato's Timaeus begins with a discussion about the ideal state, where Socrates and other participants engage in philosophical discourse. It is here that Critias introduces the story of Atlantis, which he claims was passed down through his family from Solon, the famed Athenian lawmaker. According to the account, Solon learned of Atlantis from Egyptian priests during his travels to the temple of Neith in Sais. The priests described Atlantis as a highly advanced civilization that existed over 9,000 years before Plato's time. The tale continues in Critias, where Plato provides greater detail about Atlantis. He describes it as an enormous island located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, an ancient term for the Strait of Gibraltar. This geographical clue has fueled speculation for centuries, with many searching for evidence of Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean, and beyond. Description of Atlantis, geography, wealth, and advanced technology. Plato paints a vivid picture of Atlantis, describing it as a paradise of abundance and innovation. The island was said to be larger than Libya and Asia combined, with fertile plains, majestic mountains, and an intricate system of canals. Its capital city was a marvel of engineering, featuring concentric rings of land and water, connected by bridges and surrounded by towering walls plated with brass, tin, and orichalcum, a mysterious metal said to gleam like fire. The Atlanteans were portrayed as a powerful and sophisticated people, skilled in agriculture, architecture, and maritime navigation. They constructed grand temples, including one dedicated to Poseidon, their patron god, which was adorned with precious metals and housed a giant statue of the deity. The city also boasted advanced technologies that allowed for efficient irrigation, trade, and resource management, innovations that seemed far ahead of their time. Atlantis was described as a utopia, where humans lived in harmony with nature and each other. However, as the Atlanteans grew more powerful, they became arrogant and corrupt, defying the gods and seeking to dominate the world. According to Plato, their hubris led to their downfall. The gods, angered by their behavior, unleashed a series of cataclysmic events, earthquakes and floods, that destroyed Atlantis in a single day and night, submerging it beneath the ocean. Allegory or reality? The debate among historians. The story of Atlantis has sparked endless debate among historians, archaeologists, and philosophers. Was Plato describing a real civilization, or was Atlantis merely a fictional device used to convey philosophical ideas? The answer remains elusive, with arguments on both sides. Those who view Atlantis as an allegory argue that Plato intended it as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris, greed, and moral decay. They point out that Plato often used fictional settings to explore philosophical concepts, and Atlantis may have been no different. In this interpretation, the story of Atlantis serves as a warning to his contemporaries in Athens, urging them to uphold virtue and resist the temptations of power. On the other hand, proponents of the idea that Atlantis was a real place cite the specificity of Plato's descriptions as evidence. They argue that the level of detail, geographical features, cultural practices, and historical timelines suggests that Plato was drawing on genuine historical records or oral traditions. Some even suggest that Atlantis may have been inspired by real ancient civilizations, such as the Minoans or the Mycenaeans, whose advanced societies experienced sudden and catastrophic declines. Adding to the intrigue are claims that Plato's account aligns with geological and archaeological evidence of ancient cataclysms. For instance, the volcanic eruption on the island of Thera, modern-day Santorini, around 1600 BCE caused widespread destruction in the Aegean region, leading some to speculate that this event inspired the Atlantis myth. Similarly, the discovery of underwater ruins, such as the Bimini Road in the Bahamas, has fueled speculation that remnants of Atlantis might still exist, waiting to be uncovered. The search for truth. Why Atlantis matters. The enduring debate over Atlantis reflects a deeper fascination with the possibility of lost civilizations. If Atlantis were real, it would challenge our understanding of ancient history, suggesting that advanced societies existed long before the rise of known civilizations like Egypt and Mesopotamia. It would also raise profound questions about human ingenuity, resilience, and the factors that lead to the rise and fall of great societies. For skeptics, the story of Atlantis is a testament to the power of myth and the human imagination. For believers, it is a tantalizing mystery that holds the promise of discovery and revelation. Either way, the story of Atlantis continues to inspire curiosity and exploration, reminding us that history is often as much about what we don't know as what we do. As we move forward, we will delve into the evidence that has emerged over centuries, examining ancient texts, geological findings, and modern technology to uncover the truth behind the lost city of Atlantis. Whether fact or fiction, the legend of Atlantis remains one of the most compelling chapters in human history, inviting us to dream, to question, and to seek the extraordinary in the past. Clues hidden in ancient texts and maps. The story of Atlantis doesn't begin and end with Plato's writings. Over the centuries, ancient texts and maps have emerged that seem to reference Atlantis or civilizations remarkably similar to it. These sources, scattered across time and cultures, fuel the idea that Atlantis may not be entirely fictional. By examining these hidden clues, we can begin to piece together a picture of what might have been a real, advanced civilization lost to history. Ancient texts that echo the Atlantis story beyond Plato's Timaeus and Critias. Other ancient texts have hinted at the existence of advanced civilizations that suffered cataclysmic destruction. For example, the ancient Egyptians told stories of a great flood that wiped out earlier civilizations, a narrative remarkably similar to the one Plato attributes to Atlantis. These stories were often inscribed on temple walls and papyrus scrolls, recounting the destruction of a powerful kingdom due to divine wrath. In Hindu texts like the Mahabharata and Ramayana, references are made to ancient, technologically advanced cities destroyed by catastrophic events. While these texts don't explicitly mention Atlantis, they describe aerial vehicles, advanced weaponry, and urban centers that rival modern infrastructure. Some researchers speculate that such stories may be remnants of a shared, global memory of a lost civilization, possibly Atlantis. The Bible, too, contains echoes of the Atlantis myth, particularly in the story of Noah's Ark. The Great Flood that covers the earth and destroys sinful civilizations is a motif repeated across many cultures, from Mesopotamian texts like the Epic of Gilgamesh to Native American oral traditions. These recurring flood myths may point to a real, ancient event that inspired Plato's account. The role of ancient maps in the Atlantis mystery. Maps from antiquity provide some of the most intriguing clues in the search for Atlantis. One of the most famous examples is the Piri Reis map, created by an Ottoman admiral in 1513. This map is notable for its depiction of the coastlines of South America and Antarctica with surprising accuracy, far beyond what was known in the early 16th century. What's even more remarkable is that the Antarctic coastline appears ice-free, suggesting that the map may have been based on much older sources, dating back to a time when Antarctica was habitable. The Piri Reis map aligns eerily well with Plato's description of Atlantis. If Atlantis were a real place, and it existed during a time when Antarctica was free of ice, it raises the possibility that the city could have been located there. Modern theories suggest that Antarctica may have been in a more temperate climate during the last ice age, which ended roughly 12,000 years ago, around the same time Plato claims Atlantis was destroyed. Another compelling piece of evidence comes from maps created by medieval cartographers, many of which depict mythical islands in the Atlantic Ocean. The Hereford Mappa Mundi and the Andrea Bianco map both include references to islands that don't exist on modern maps. Could these represent distorted memories of Atlantis, passed down through generations and gradually altered by time? Theories on Atlantis location, from the Mediterranean to Antarctica. Theories about Atlantis location are as varied as the legends themselves. While many scholars dismiss the city as purely fictional, others argue that Plato's clues, combined with ancient maps and texts, point to real locations where Atlantis may have existed. One popular theory places Atlantis in the Mediterranean, specifically on the island of Santorini. The Minoan civilization, which thrived on Crete and nearby islands, bears striking similarities to Plato's description of Atlantis. The Minoans were highly advanced, with complex architecture, a vibrant economy, and sophisticated art. Their sudden collapse around 1600 BCE coincided with a massive volcanic eruption on Santorini, which caused widespread destruction and tsunamis. This natural disaster may have inspired Plato's account, though it occurred thousands of years after the timeline he provides. Another theory suggests that Atlantis could have been located in the Americas. The indigenous peoples of the Americas, from the Maya to the Inca, built civilizations with remarkable technological and architectural achievements. Some researchers believe that these cultures may have inherited knowledge from an earlier, now lost civilization, possibly Atlantis. Supporters of this theory point to underwater structures off the coast of Cuba and the Bimini Road in the Bahamas as potential remnants of the city. A more controversial theory places Atlantis in Antarctica. Proponents argue that ancient maps like the Piri Reis map support the idea that Antarctica was once habitable and may have been the home of an advanced civilization. The theory suggests that a sudden shift in the Earth's crust or another geological event could have displaced the continent to its current location, freezing the city beneath layers of ice. This hypothesis remains speculative, but it continues to gain attention as scientific exploration of Antarctica advances. Hidden clues about Atlantis in history. As researchers dig deeper into ancient texts and maps, they continue to uncover tantalizing clues that challenge our understanding of history. For example, some inscriptions in Egypt and Mesopotamia describe advanced engineering techniques, global trade networks, and catastrophic floods, details that echo Plato's description of Atlantis. Could these references point to a shared origin for these stories, a distant memory of a lost civilization that predates recorded history? In Central and South America, legends of sunken cities like Ciudad Blanca in Honduras and the Lost City of Gold in the Amazon bear striking parallels to the Atlantis story. Indigenous tribes tell of great floods and cities consumed by the sea, suggesting that the Atlantis myth may be part of a broader, global tradition of oral history. Even modern technology has contributed to the search for hidden clues. Satellite imagery and sonar mapping have revealed underwater anomalies that defy explanation, from symmetrical formations resembling roads and walls to massive, submerged plateaus that could be the remnants of ancient cities. While many of these findings remain unverified, they fuel the hope that the mystery of Atlantis may one day be solved. The intersection of myth and evidence. The clues hidden in ancient texts and maps form a complex puzzle that continues to captivate historians, archaeologists, and adventurers. Each piece, whether a line in a forgotten manuscript, a detail on a centuries-old map, or an underwater formation, adds depth to the story of Atlantis. Together, they suggest that Plato's account may have been more than just a work of fiction. While definitive evidence remains elusive, the search for Atlantis reminds us of the power of myth to inspire discovery and the enduring allure of the unknown. As we move forward, we'll dive into geological and archaeological findings that bring us closer to understanding the possible reality behind Atlantis. Could these clues hold the key to solving one of history's greatest mysteries? The answer may be closer than we think. Geological and archaeological evidence. The legend of Atlantis has inspired centuries of exploration, with researchers scouring the globe for tangible proof of this fabled civilization. While skeptics often label it as myth, geological and archaeological discoveries suggest there may be more to Plato's account than mere allegory. From underwater anomalies to mysterious ruins, modern science has uncovered intriguing clues that may finally shed light on the truth behind the lost city of Atlantis. Underwater structures and anomalies. Exploring the depths. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from geological studies of underwater formations in the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. Advances in sonar mapping and satellite imaging have revealed numerous anomalies on the ocean floor that defy natural explanation. These formations, which include symmetrical structures and grid-like patterns, suggest the possibility of ancient cities now submerged beneath the waves. In the Atlantic Ocean, researchers have identified underwater plateaus and ridges that could fit Plato's description of Atlantis as a landmass larger than Libya and Asia combined. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a massive underwater mountain range, has been proposed as a potential location for the lost city. Some theories suggest that sections of the ridge may have been above sea level during the last ice age, creating an ideal environment for an advanced civilization. The Mediterranean Sea has also yielded fascinating finds. Near the island of Santorini, the remains of an ancient city buried beneath layers of volcanic ash have led many to draw parallels to Atlantis. Known as Akrotiri, this Minoan settlement was destroyed by a massive volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE. While Akrotiri's timeline doesn't align perfectly with Plato's account, its advanced architecture and sudden destruction bear a striking resemblance to the Atlantis story. The Bimini Road, a gateway to Atlantis. Perhaps the most famous underwater anomaly associated with Atlantis is the Bimini Road, located off the coast of the Bahamas. Discovered in 1968, this formation consists of large, rectangular limestone blocks arranged in a straight line on the ocean floor. Measuring over half a mile long, the structure has sparked intense debate among archaeologists and geologists. Is it a natural formation, or could it be the remnants of an ancient road or wall built by a lost civilization? Supporters of the Atlantis connection argue that the Bimini Road aligns with Plato's description of Atlantis as a highly advanced society with impressive engineering capabilities. They point to the precision of the blocks and their uniformity as evidence of human construction. Some even suggest that the Bimini Road was part of a larger complex, now hidden beneath the sands of time. Critics, however, maintain that the Bimini Road is a natural formation caused by the erosion of limestone over millennia. They argue that the structure's regular appearance is coincidental and that there is no definitive evidence linking it to Atlantis. Despite these objections, the Bimini Road remains one of the most tantalizing clues in the search for the lost city. Controversial archaeological sites. Clues from the past. Beyond the Bimini Road, there are numerous archaeological sites around the world that bear similarities to Plato's description of Atlantis. These sites, though often disputed, provide intriguing insights into the possibility of advanced ancient civilizations lost to history. One such site is Yonaguni Monument, an underwater structure off the coast of Japan. Discovered in 1987, Yonaguni features massive stone formations, including terraces, steps, and what appear to be carved faces. While some researchers argue that Yonaguni is a natural formation, others believe it is the remnants of a prehistoric city submerged by rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age. If true, Yonaguni could indicate the existence of advanced civilizations capable of monumental architecture, parallels that evoke the legend of Atlantis. In the Mediterranean, the submerged city of Pavlopetri off the coast of Greece has also been linked to Atlantis. Dating back to around 3000 BCE, Pavlopetri is one of the oldest known underwater cities, featuring streets, buildings, and even a sophisticated drainage system. Though not directly connected to Plato's account, Pavlopetri demonstrates that ancient societies were capable of creating advanced urban centers that could inspire myths like Atlantis. Another controversial site is the underwater ruins found off the coast of India in the Gulf of Kamhat. Discovered in 2001, these structures include what appear to be walls, streets, and even human artifacts such as pottery. Radiocarbon dating suggests that the site may be over 9,000 years old, placing it in the same timeline as Plato's Atlantis. If verified, this discovery could provide crucial evidence of a highly advanced civilization that predates known history. Geological studies supporting Atlantis' existence. Geological evidence also supports the possibility that Atlantis was a real place. One of the most intriguing theories involves the rapid rise in sea levels at the end of the last ice age, around 12,000 years ago. During this period, melting glaciers caused massive flooding that submerged large portions of land, including coastal areas that may have been home to advanced civilizations. Plato's timeline for the destruction of Atlantis coincides with this global event, suggesting that the story could be based on real geological phenomena. In addition to rising sea levels, evidence of underwater volcanic activity and seismic events has been discovered in areas linked to Atlantis. For example, the Azores, a group of islands in the Atlantic Ocean, are situated near an underwater fault line that has experienced significant tectonic activity over millennia. Some researchers propose that the Azores may be remnants of Atlantis, their volcanic peaks representing the highest points of the submerged landmass. Further geological studies have focused on the Mediterranean region, where evidence of massive tsunamis and volcanic eruptions has been uncovered. The eruption of Thera, which devastated the Minoan civilization, serves as a stark reminder of how natural disasters can erase entire cultures from history. Similar events may have contributed to the destruction of Atlantis, leaving only faint traces for modern researchers to uncover. Balancing science and speculation. While geological and archaeological evidence provides tantalizing clues, it is important to balance scientific findings with a healthy dose of skepticism. Many of the underwater structures linked to Atlantis remain unverified, and interpretations often vary widely among experts. Natural formations can sometimes mimic human-made structures, leading to debates about what constitutes definitive proof. Despite these challenges, the search for Atlantis continues to inspire researchers and explorers. Advances in technology, such as deep-sea exploration vehicles and high-resolution sonar mapping, are making it possible to explore previously inaccessible areas of the ocean floor. With each discovery, we inch closer to understanding the truth behind one of history's greatest mysteries. The significance of Atlantis archaeology. The quest for Atlantis is about more than uncovering a lost city. It's about understanding the complexity and resilience of ancient civilizations. The geological and archaeological evidence gathered so far suggests that humanity's past may be richer and more complex than we currently know. Atlantis serves as a symbol of what we have yet to discover, a reminder that the history of our planet is still being written. Whether Atlantis is ever found, the journey to uncover its secrets continues to captivate our imagination. Each new piece of evidence adds depth to the story, keeping the legend alive and inspiring future generations to keep searching. As we explore the next chapter in this ongoing saga, we'll delve into theories about Atlantis' location and how modern technology is transforming our understanding of this ancient enigma. Could the key to unlocking the mystery be just beneath the surface? The answer may be closer than we think. Theories about Atlantis' location in the quest to answer the enduring question, where is Atlantis? Has fueled countless expeditions, scientific studies, and passionate debates. Over centuries, theorists and researchers have proposed a variety of possible locations for the lost city of Atlantis, each supported by unique evidence and interpretations of Plato's writings. From the sun-soaked Mediterranean to the icy plains of Antarctica, the theories surrounding Atlantis' location paint a fascinating picture of human curiosity and imagination. Let's delve into the leading theories and examine the evidence for each. The Mediterranean theory, Atlantis near Santorini or Crete. One of the most widely accepted theories places Atlantis in the Mediterranean, specifically near the islands of Santorini and Crete. This theory draws heavily on similarities between Plato's descriptions of Atlantis and the advanced Minoan civilization that thrived in the Aegean region around 2000 BCE. The Minoans were known for their sophisticated architecture, maritime prowess, and vibrant art, characteristics that closely resemble the civilization Plato described. Santorini, once known as Thera, experienced a massive volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE. This catastrophic event obliterated much of the island and triggered tsunamis that devastated nearby Crete and other parts of the Mediterranean. The eruption's effects align with Plato's account of Atlantis' sudden destruction, lending credibility to the idea that the Minoan civilization may have inspired the Atlantis legend. Supporters of the Mediterranean theory argue that the geographical details Plato provided, such as Atlantis being near the Pillars of Hercules, interpreted as the Strait of Gibraltar, could be metaphorical rather than literal. If so, Atlantis could have been located much closer to Greece than traditionally thought. The advanced infrastructure of Minoan cities, including complex drainage systems and palatial centers like Knossos, further bolsters the case for a Minoan-Atlantis connection. However, critics of this theory point out that the timeline of the Minoan civilization does not match Plato's claim that Atlantis existed over 9,000 years before his time. Additionally, while the Minoan collapse was dramatic, it wasn't as sudden or total as Plato described. These discrepancies leave room for alternative interpretations. The Atlantic Ocean theory, the traditional home of Atlantis. Plato explicitly stated that Atlantis lay beyond the Pillars of Hercules, leading many to believe that the lost city was located in the Atlantic Ocean. This theory has been one of the most enduring and aligns with the idea of Atlantis as a massive landmass larger than Libya and Asia combined. Proponents argue that the Atlantic Ocean's vastness makes it the most plausible location for a sunken continent. The Azores, a group of volcanic islands in the middle of the Atlantic, are often cited as remnants of Atlantis. These islands sit atop the mid-Atlantic ridge, a tectonic boundary that has experienced significant geological activity over millions of years. Some researchers speculate that parts of this ridge may have once been above water, forming a landmass that could fit Plato's description of Atlantis. Underwater plateaus and ridges in the region add to the intrigue, suggesting the possibility of submerged land. Another compelling piece of evidence comes from ancient maps, such as the Piri Reis map, which depict landmasses in the Atlantic that do not correspond to any known continents. While skeptics argue that these anomalies are the result of cartographic errors or misinterpretations, believers see them as clues pointing to a lost civilization. Despite its popularity, the Atlantic Ocean theory faces significant challenges. Geologists argue that no evidence supports the existence of a large sunken landmass in the Atlantic. Additionally, while Plato's descriptions of Atlantis' size and geography align with this theory, critics question whether such a massive civilization could have vanished without leaving more definitive traces. The Antarctica theory, an ice-covered Atlantis. One of the most intriguing and controversial theories places Atlantis in Antarctica. Proponents of this theory argue that Antarctica wasn't always the frozen wasteland we know today. During the last ice age, approximately 12,000 years ago, the continent may have been in a more temperate climate, making it habitable for an advanced civilization. This idea is supported by the fact that Antarctica is believed to have shifted to its current position due to plate tectonics, potentially displacing any settlements that existed there. The Antarctica theory gained traction with the discovery of ancient maps, such as the Piri Reis map, which depict Antarctica's coastline free of ice. This detail suggests that the maps were based on much older sources, possibly created during a time when the continent was ice-free. If Atlantis existed in Antarctica, its civilization could have been buried under layers of ice following a sudden climate shift. Advocates of this theory also point to Plato's description of Atlantis as a land of fertile plains and abundant resources. While Antarctica's current conditions make this hard to imagine, geological studies reveal that the continent once had forests, rivers, and a temperate climate. If Atlantis was located here, its destruction could have been caused by a rapid freeze or other climatic cataclysm. Skeptics argue that the logistical challenges of exploring Antarctica's frozen depths make it nearly impossible to verify this theory. Furthermore, there is no direct archaeological evidence to support the existence of human settlements beneath the ice. Despite these obstacles, the idea of Atlantis in Antarctica continues to captivate the imagination of researchers and enthusiasts alike. The possibility of multiple Atlantis-like civilizations. While most theories focus on a single location, some researchers propose that Atlantis may not have been a single city or civilization, but rather a concept representing multiple advanced societies that existed in different parts of the world. This theory suggests that Plato's account could be a composite story, drawing on tales of various ancient civilizations that suffered catastrophic fates. For example, the Minoans in the Mediterranean, the Olmecs in Mesoamerica, and the Harappans in the Indus Valley all exhibited advanced technologies and cultural achievements. Each of these civilizations experienced sudden declines, often due to environmental factors such as earthquakes, floods, or volcanic eruptions. It's possible that the Atlantis legend is a symbolic representation of these shared human experiences, rather than a specific historical event. This perspective also opens the door to the idea that Atlantis could have been part of a global network of interconnected civilizations. Advocates of this theory point to similarities in architecture, mythology, and symbolism among ancient cultures worldwide, suggesting that knowledge and ideas may have been exchanged across vast distances. If Atlantis were part of such a network, its story would represent not just the loss of a single city but the erasure of an entire chapter of human history. The endless allure of Atlantis. Theories about Atlantis' location continue to evolve as new discoveries and technologies expand our understanding of the past. Whether it lies beneath the Mediterranean, the Atlantic, or the icy plains of Antarctica, or if it represents a broader concept of lost civilizations, the search for Atlantis is as much about uncovering the truth as it is about exploring the limits of human imagination. Each theory offers a unique lens through which to view Atlantis, highlighting the complexity and richness of its legend. As we piece together clues from history, geology, and archaeology, we are reminded that the mystery of Atlantis is more than just a search for a lost city. It's a journey into the unknown, a testament to our enduring curiosity, and a celebration of the timeless quest for knowledge. In the next section, we'll explore how modern technology is reshaping our understanding of Atlantis, using tools like sonar mapping and satellite imagery to uncover new evidence that may bring us closer to solving this ancient puzzle. Could the answer to Atlantis' location be hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to be revealed?
Only time will tell.
Modern scientific studies and technology unveiling Atlantis as the legend of Atlantis continues to captivate imaginations around the globe. Modern scientific advancements have provided tools to investigate the mystery in ways that Plato could never have envisioned. Cutting-edge technology like sonar mapping, satellite imagery, and deep-sea exploration is helping researchers uncover new evidence that might bring us closer to understanding whether the lost city of Atlantis was a real civilization. By combining ancient texts with modern methods, these groundbreaking studies are reshaping how we search for this elusive city. Advancements in sonar mapping and oceanic exploration. One of the most significant tools in the search for Atlantis is sonar mapping, which uses sound waves to create detailed images of the ocean floor. This technology has revolutionized oceanic exploration by allowing scientists to map vast underwater landscapes with remarkable precision. In areas where the ocean depths were once inaccessible, sonar mapping has revealed fascinating anomalies that might be linked to Atlantis. For example, sonar surveys conducted in the Atlantic Ocean have identified structures resembling walls, roads, and even what appear to be the foundations of ancient cities. Some of these formations align with Plato's description of Atlantis as a highly organized and advanced society with impressive engineering capabilities. Researchers have also discovered submerged plateaus and ridges, such as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which could have been part of a once thriving landmass now lost to rising sea levels. In addition to sonar mapping, remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, and autonomous underwater drones have played a crucial role in exploring these submerged sites. These advanced machines can dive thousands of feet below the surface, capturing high-resolution images and collecting samples from the ocean floor. With each new expedition, the search for Atlantis gains momentum, bringing us closer to uncovering definitive evidence of its existence. Satellite imagery and the search for Atlantis. Satellite technology has also become an indispensable tool in the hunt for Atlantis. Using high-resolution imagery, scientists can examine remote regions of the Earth's surface and identify potential archaeological sites that were previously overlooked. This technology has been particularly useful for analyzing areas where ancient civilizations may have existed before being submerged by water. One of the most intriguing contributions of satellite imagery comes from platforms like Google Earth. By analyzing satellite data, researchers and amateur enthusiasts alike have identified unusual formations on the ocean floor that might be linked to Atlantis. For instance, a grid-like pattern discovered near the Canary Islands sparked widespread speculation that it could be the remnants of an ancient city. While subsequent studies suggested the pattern was caused by sonar mapping artifacts, the discovery highlighted the potential of satellite technology to uncover new leads in the search for Atlantis. Beyond underwater exploration, satellites have been used to study climate and geological changes that could explain the sudden disappearance of Atlantis. By analyzing historical sea levels, tectonic activity, and climate shifts, scientists are piecing together a clearer picture of how catastrophic events might have caused the destruction of a civilization. This data not only informs the search for Atlantis but also deepens our understanding of the Earth's dynamic history. Groundbreaking projects bringing Atlantis closer to reality. Several large-scale projects and initiatives have contributed significantly to the search for Atlantis. Among them is the development of global mapping databases that integrate data from multiple sources, including sonar surveys, satellite imagery, and geological studies. These databases allow researchers to cross-reference historical accounts with modern observations, creating a more comprehensive framework for investigating potential Atlantis sites. Google Earth, in particular, has democratized the search for Atlantis by making high-resolution imagery accessible to the public. Enthusiasts from around the world have used the platform to identify underwater anomalies, sparking new debates and theories. While some discoveries turn out to be natural formations or artifacts of imaging technology, others provide valuable leads that professional researchers can investigate further. Another groundbreaking project is the European Marine Observation and Data Network, EMODNet, which provides detailed bathymetric maps of Europe's seas. By mapping the seabed in unprecedented detail, EMODNet has uncovered features that could be linked to ancient civilizations, including Atlantis. Similar initiatives, such as NOAA's Office of Ocean Exploration and Research in the United States, are using advanced technologies to explore the depths of the ocean and uncover its hidden secrets. Private ventures have also joined the search, with companies like Ocean Infinity deploying state-of-the-art autonomous underwater vehicles to investigate submerged structures. These expeditions not only seek to find evidence of Atlantis but also contribute to broader knowledge of underwater archaeology and marine geology. With every new discovery, the possibility of uncovering Atlantis becomes increasingly tangible. How technology brings us closer to Atlantis. Modern technology has done more than just uncover underwater anomalies. It has transformed how we approach the search for Atlantis. By combining traditional archaeological methods with cutting-edge tools, researchers can analyze evidence with greater accuracy and detail. For instance, 3D modeling and virtual reality allow scientists to recreate ancient sites and visualize what Atlantis might have looked like based on Plato's descriptions. These reconstructions provide valuable insights into the scale, complexity, and ingenuity of the civilization Plato described. Furthermore, advances in genetic research have opened up new avenues for studying ancient migrations and cultural exchanges. By analyzing the DNA of ancient populations, scientists can trace connections between different civilizations, potentially linking Atlantis to other advanced societies like the Minoans, Egyptians, or the Harappans. This interdisciplinary approach bridges the gap between mythology and science, offering a more nuanced understanding of Atlantis and its possible influence on human history. The use of artificial intelligence, AI, has also accelerated the search for Atlantis. AI algorithms can process vast amounts of data from sonar scans, satellite images, and geological surveys, identifying patterns and anomalies that might otherwise go unnoticed. By automating these processes, researchers can focus their efforts on the most promising leads, increasing the likelihood of a breakthrough discovery. The future of Atlantis research. While the search for Atlantis has yet to yield definitive proof of its existence, the tools and technologies developed in the process have revolutionized our understanding of the ancient world. Each new discovery, whether it's a submerged structure or a geological anomaly, brings us one step closer to solving the mystery. The combination of sonar mapping, satellite imagery, and advanced analytical techniques is helping researchers build a compelling case for the reality of Atlantis. As technology continues to evolve, the possibilities for uncovering Atlantis grow exponentially. From deep-sea exploration vehicles capable of reaching unprecedented depths to AI-powered analysis tools, the future of Atlantis research is as exciting as the legend itself. Whether Atlantis is eventually found or remains a tantalizing mystery, the search exemplifies humanity's enduring curiosity and determination to uncover the truth. In the next section, we'll dive into the controversies and criticisms surrounding the Atlantis legend. While modern technology offers promising leads, skeptics argue that the search for Atlantis is driven more by myth than reality. Is Atlantis a real place waiting to be discovered, or is it simply a story that has captured our collective imagination? The answer may lie at the intersection of history, science, and myth. Controversies and critics, fact versus fiction. The story of Atlantis has been a subject of fascination for centuries, but it has also been the target of skepticism and criticism. While believers argue that the legend holds clues to a real lost civilization, many scientists and historians dismiss the idea as a myth or allegory. The debate between fact and fiction is one of the reasons Atlantis remains such an enduring mystery. To truly understand the controversies surrounding Atlantis, we must examine the arguments of skeptics, explore the pseudo-scientific claims that fuel the debate, and consider the delicate balance between historical accounts and scientific evidence. Why many scientists dismiss Atlantis as a myth. Skeptics of Atlantis often point to Plato's writings as the primary reason to view the story as fictional. They argue that Plato's account in Timaeus and Critias was never intended to be a historical record but rather a philosophical allegory. Plato frequently used fictional settings and narratives to illustrate his philosophical ideas, and Atlantis may be another example of this method. The story of Atlantis as a morally corrupt society destroyed by divine punishment serves as a cautionary tale about hubris, greed, and the dangers of unchecked power. One of the most common criticisms is the lack of corroborating evidence from other ancient sources. Plato's account is the only detailed reference to Atlantis in antiquity, and no other Greek or Egyptian texts mention such a civilization. Skeptics argue that if Atlantis were a real and powerful empire, it would have left behind a more substantial historical record, such as trade agreements, inscriptions, or artifacts. Geologists and archaeologists also question the feasibility of Atlantis' sudden destruction. Plato described the city sinking into the sea in a single day and night, a scenario that many scientists deem geologically improbable. While natural disasters such as earthquakes and tsunamis can cause significant destruction, the idea of an entire landmass vanishing overnight is viewed as highly unlikely. Critics often cite the lack of definitive geological evidence, such as sunken landmasses or submerged cities that match Plato's description, as further proof that Atlantis is a myth. Controversial figures and pseudo-scientific theories. Despite the skepticism of mainstream science, Atlantis has attracted numerous researchers, adventurers, and theorists who claim to have uncovered evidence of its existence. Some of these figures have made significant contributions to the debate, while others have promoted pseudo-scientific claims that blur the line between fact and fiction. One of the most controversial figures in Atlantis research is Ignatius Donnelly, a 19th-century politician and writer who published Atlantis, the Antediluvian World in 1882. Donnelly argued that Atlantis was a real civilization that served as the cradle of human culture, influencing the development of societies in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Americas. While Donnelly's ideas were widely dismissed by scholars, his work sparked renewed interest in Atlantis and inspired generations of explorers and theorists. Another contentious figure is Edgar Cayce, a 20th-century mystic known as the Sleeping Prophet. Cayce claimed to have accessed visions of Atlantis through trance states, describing it as a technologically advanced civilization that used crystals for energy and communication. He predicted that remnants of Atlantis would be discovered near the Bahamas, leading to the association of the Bimini Road with the Lost City. While Cayce's followers consider his visions credible, mainstream scientists regard them as unsubstantiated and speculative. The proliferation of pseudo-scientific theories has also been fueled by popular media. Books, documentaries, and films often present sensationalized claims about Atlantis, portraying it as an alien colony, a high-tech utopia, or the source of all ancient knowledge. These portrayals, while entertaining, often lack rigorous evidence and contribute to the perception of Atlantis as a fringe topic rather than a serious historical inquiry. Balancing the debate. Fact and fiction coexisting. Despite the skepticism and pseudo-scientific claims, the debate over Atlantis remains important for several reasons. First, it highlights the need for a balanced approach that considers both historical accounts and scientific evidence. Plato's writings, while not definitive proof of Atlantis' existence, offer valuable insights into the cultural and philosophical context of ancient Greece. They remind us that even myths and allegories can contain kernels of truth, reflecting real events, societies, or ideas. Second, the search for Atlantis has led to significant advancements in science and technology. From sonar mapping to satellite imagery, the tools developed to explore the legend of Atlantis have broader applications in archaeology, geology, and oceanography. Even if Atlantis is never found, the discoveries made along the way contribute to our understanding of the ancient world and the forces that shaped it. Finally, the Atlantis debate underscores the human drive to seek and explore. Whether viewed as a historical mystery or a philosophical metaphor, Atlantis symbolizes the quest for knowledge and the desire to uncover the unknown. This enduring curiosity has inspired countless expeditions and fueled discussions about the nature of history, myth, and truth. Controversies about Atlantis and why they matter. The controversies surrounding Atlantis often stem from its dual nature as both a myth and a potential historical reality. This duality makes it a unique case study for understanding how myths evolve and how they influence human thought. Critics argue that the obsession with Atlantis distracts from more credible archaeological research, but supporters contend that the legend has value as a cultural and intellectual pursuit. One of the key challenges in the debate is the lack of consensus about what constitutes valid evidence. For skeptics, the absence of definitive artifacts or geological features linked to Atlantis is sufficient to dismiss the story. For believers, however, the existing clues, ancient texts, underwater formations, and oral traditions, suggest that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. The search for Atlantis also raises questions about the nature of history itself. How do we differentiate between fact and fiction, and what role do myths play in shaping our understanding of the past? These questions are not unique to Atlantis but are relevant to many other historical mysteries, from the existence of Troy to the origins of Stonehenge. In this sense, the controversies about Atlantis are part of a broader dialogue about the interplay between myth and history. The lasting legacy of the Atlantis debate. The critics and controversies surrounding Atlantis are unlikely to be resolved anytime soon, but that is part of what makes the legend so compelling. As long as questions remain unanswered, Atlantis will continue to inspire exploration, debate, and imagination. Whether viewed as a real civilization or a powerful metaphor, the story of Atlantis challenges us to think critically about the past and the forces that shape our understanding of it. In the next section, we'll explore the cultural impact of Atlantis and how it has influenced literature, art, and popular culture throughout history. From ancient myths to modern movies, Atlantis continues to capture our imagination, proving that its legacy is as enduring as the mystery itself. The cultural impact of Atlantis. The legend of Atlantis has transcended its origins in Plato's writings to become one of the most enduring and versatile stories in human history. From ancient myths to modern pop culture, Atlantis has left an indelible mark on literature, art, and media. Its appeal lies not just in the mystery of its existence, but in its symbolic resonance as a cautionary tale of humanity's greatest aspirations and flaws. Atlantis in literature, a story retold across centuries. Since its first appearance in Timaeus and Critias, the story of Atlantis has inspired countless works of literature. During the Renaissance, scholars revisited Plato's texts, sparking renewed interest in the idea of a lost utopia. Writers like Francis Bacon incorporated the theme into their works, with Bacon's The New Atlantis envisioning an ideal society based on science and discovery. This reinterpretation of Atlantis as a beacon of progress shaped its image as a symbol of humanity's pursuit of knowledge. In the 19th century, Ignatius Donnelly's Atlantis, the antediluvian world, brought the legend into the popular imagination. Donnelly proposed that Atlantis was the cradle of human civilization, influencing cultures in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Americas. While his theories were largely speculative, they captured the public's fascination, fueling a wave of adventure novels and speculative fiction. Atlantis also found its way into the works of fantasy writers. Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea features Captain Nemo's discovery of Atlantis, blending science fiction with myth. In J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium, the island of Numenor bears striking similarities to Atlantis, reflecting its fall from grace due to hubris. These literary adaptations demonstrate how the story of Atlantis continues to evolve, taking on new meanings for different generations. Atlantis in art and film, a visual legacy. Atlantis has also left its mark on visual art, with painters and sculptors drawing on its imagery to evoke themes of grandeur and tragedy. During the Romantic era, artists like Wilhelm von Kaulbach and John Martin depicted Atlantis as a majestic city engulfed by the sea, capturing both its beauty and its destruction. These works often emphasize the moral and philosophical dimensions of the story, reflecting humanity's complex relationship with power and nature. In modern times, film and television have played a significant role in popularizing Atlantis. Early adventure films like Atlantis, The Lost Continent, 1961, brought the legend to the silver screen, while Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire, 2001, reimagined it as a fantastical undersea kingdom. These cinematic portrayals often emphasize the mystery and wonder of Atlantis, blending action, romance, and mythology to appeal to audiences of all ages. Television has also embraced the Atlantis legend, with shows like Stargate Atlantis and documentaries on the History Channel exploring its possibilities. These adaptations often merge the myth with science fiction, imagining Atlantis as a technologically advanced civilization with secrets that could change the course of history. The enduring presence of Atlantis in visual media highlights its versatility as a narrative framework, capable of adapting to different genres and cultural contexts. Atlantis in pop culture, a universal symbol. Atlantis has become more than just a story. It is a cultural symbol that resonates with universal themes. Its depiction as a utopia reflects humanity's aspirations for a perfect society, while its downfall serves as a warning about the dangers of hubris and moral decay. These themes make Atlantis a timeless cautionary tale, relevant to discussions about environmental sustainability, social justice, and technological advancement. In the realm of pop culture, Atlantis is often portrayed as a place of hidden knowledge and untapped potential. Video games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Tomb Raider incorporate Atlantis as a setting, emphasizing exploration and discovery. Meanwhile, comic books like DC's Aquaman reimagine Atlantis as an underwater kingdom, merging ancient myth with modern superhero narratives. These adaptations demonstrate how Atlantis continues to inspire creativity across diverse mediums. The cultural significance of Atlantis is more than just a legend. It is a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest fears and highest hopes. As a story, it encapsulates the tension between ambition and humility, progress and destruction. Its legacy endures because it speaks to universal questions. What makes a civilization thrive, and what leads to its downfall? These questions remain as relevant today as they were in Plato's time, ensuring that Atlantis will continue to captivate and inspire. The cultural significance of Atlantis lies in its ability to adapt and evolve. Whether portrayed as a lost utopia, a cautionary tale, or a fantastical adventure, Atlantis remains a powerful symbol of humanity's potential and its peril. Its influence on literature, art, and pop culture is a testament to its enduring relevance, proving that some stories are truly timeless. In the next section, we'll explore the hypothetical implications of Atlantis being real. What would it mean for our understanding of history, and how could it reshape our view of ancient civilizations? As we delve deeper into this possibility, the allure of Atlantis only grows stronger, reminding us that the search for truth is often as compelling as the truth itself. What if Atlantis was real? The possibility of Atlantis being a real civilization opens up a world of fascinating implications. If evidence of the fabled city were ever discovered, it would undoubtedly revolutionize our understanding of human history and ancient civilizations. From reshaping timelines to unlocking forgotten technologies, the existence of Atlantis would challenge long-held beliefs and offer extraordinary insights into the achievements of humanity's distant past. Reshaping our understanding of ancient civilization. If Atlantis was real, it would prompt historians and archaeologists to reconsider the timeline of human civilization. Plato's account places Atlantis' peak over 9,000 years before his own time, suggesting it existed during the Late Ice Age. This timeline would predate known ancient societies like Mesopotamia and Egypt, raising the question, was Atlantis the first advanced civilization? Such a discovery would expand the scope of human history, showing that advanced societies may have existed long before the rise of recorded civilizations. This would also challenge the prevailing view that human development progressed linearly, from small hunter-gatherer groups to complex societies. Instead, it would suggest that human ingenuity has experienced cycles of growth and decline, with Atlantis as a possible precursor to later civilizations. Atlantis could also redefine our understanding of globalization in the ancient world. Plato described it as a vast empire with influence extending beyond its home island. If true, Atlantis might have been one of the earliest examples of a civilization engaged in international trade, cultural exchange, and even conquest. Its discovery would highlight the interconnectedness of ancient societies, revealing a global network of human innovation and exchange. Connections to other advanced ancient societies. The story of Atlantis bears striking parallels to other ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians, Minoans, and Maya. If Atlantis was real, it might help explain similarities in architecture, mythology, and cultural practices across these societies. For example, the pyramids of Egypt and Mesoamerica share a similar design despite being separated by vast distances. Could Atlantis have been the cultural bridge that connected these civilizations? The Minoans, often linked to Atlantis due to their advanced society and catastrophic collapse, offer an intriguing comparison. Their palaces featured complex architecture, vibrant frescoes, and advanced engineering, much like Plato's description of Atlantis. If the two civilizations were connected, Atlantis might have served as a cultural or technological mentor to the Minoans. Similarly, the Maya's astronomical knowledge and architectural achievements suggest a level of sophistication that could rival Atlantis. Legends from Mesoamerican cultures, such as the Aztecs' tale of Aztlan, a mythical island home, bear an uncanny resemblance to the Atlantis story. If Atlantis had contact with these societies, it might explain how knowledge and ideas spread across continents long before modern transportation. The potential connections extend beyond cultural similarities. Advanced engineering techniques, such as those used to construct the pyramids or the aqueducts of ancient Rome, might have roots in Atlantis. Discovering Atlantis could reveal that these innovations were not isolated achievements, but part of a shared legacy passed down through generations. Technological and cultural contributions of Atlantis. If Atlantis were proven real, one of the most exciting revelations would be its technological and cultural advancements. Plato described the Atlanteans as masters of engineering, agriculture, and maritime navigation. Their city featured a network of canals, advanced irrigation systems, and massive structures built with orichalcum, a mysterious metal said to shine like fire. These details suggest a civilization far ahead of its time. The discovery of Atlantis could reveal technologies lost to history, from construction techniques to sustainable agricultural practices. For instance, the ability to build massive, earthquake-resistant structures could revolutionize modern architecture. Similarly, Atlantis' mastery of water management could offer solutions to contemporary challenges like drought and water scarcity. Culturally, Atlantis might have been a beacon of innovation and creativity. Its influence could have shaped art, religion, and philosophy in ways we have yet to understand. Plato's account of Atlantis as a utopia, albeit one undone by hubris, suggests it could also serve as a model for balancing technological progress with ethical governance. The lessons from its rise and fall might be particularly relevant in today's world, where the pursuit of power and progress often comes at a cost. One of the most intriguing possibilities is the idea that Atlantis may have achieved feats of exploration and communication that rival modern capabilities. Plato's description of Atlantis as a maritime empire hints at a society skilled in navigation and trade, potentially exploring regions of the globe long before recorded history. If evidence of their travels were uncovered, it could rewrite the story of human migration and exploration, proving that ancient peoples were far more interconnected than previously thought. The impact of Atlantis discovery on human history. The discovery of Atlantis would have a profound impact on human history, reshaping not only how we view the past but also how we understand our place in the world. It would serve as a reminder of the fragility of civilizations, showing that even the most advanced societies are vulnerable to natural disasters, environmental changes, and internal strife. This perspective could inspire greater efforts to preserve our own civilization and learn from the mistakes of the past. Atlantis rediscovery could also spark a renewed interest in exploring Earth's uncharted regions. Despite advances in technology, much of our planet remains unexplored, particularly the ocean floor. If Atlantis were found underwater, it would underscore the importance of oceanic exploration and the potential for uncovering other lost cities and civilizations. Furthermore, Atlantis could become a unifying symbol of humanity's shared heritage. Its existence would highlight the common threads that connect different cultures, fostering a sense of global unity. At the same time, it would encourage deeper investigations into other ancient mysteries, from the origins of the Sphinx to the purpose of Stonehenge. Each discovery would add to the tapestry of human history, revealing a richer and more complex story than we ever imagined. What if Atlantis was real? The endless fascination and the possibility of Atlantis being real captures the imagination because it offers a tantalizing glimpse into what humanity might achieve, and what it could lose. Whether it is remembered as a utopia, a cautionary tale, or a civilization that bridged the ancient and modern worlds, Atlantis represents the heights of human potential and the consequences of failing to respect the forces of nature and morality. Even if definitive evidence of Atlantis remains elusive, the questions it raises continue to inspire exploration, innovation, and debate. The legend challenges us to think beyond the limits of what we know, to imagine what might have been, and to strive for what could be. In doing so, it ensures that Atlantis remains not just a mystery of the past but a beacon for the future. In the final section, we'll bring everything together, reflecting on why Atlantis matters and why the search for this lost city continues to captivate us. Whether Atlantis is ultimately proven real or remains a compelling myth, its story reminds us of the boundless possibilities of human curiosity and the enduring allure of the unknown. The legend of Atlantis has captivated humanity for centuries, weaving together mystery, myth, and tantalizing possibilities. Throughout this journey, we've explored the origins of the tale in Plato's writings, examined geological and archaeological evidence, and analyzed the technological advancements and theories that continue to fuel the search. From underwater anomalies in the Atlantic to connections with ancient civilizations like the Minoans and Maya, the evidence, while inconclusive, suggests there may be more to the story than mere fiction. What makes Atlantis so enduring is its ability to straddle the line between reality and myth. The evidence we've uncovered does not provide all the answers, but it raises questions that demand exploration. Could Atlantis have been a real civilization that met a sudden, catastrophic end? Or is it a symbolic story designed to teach us about the dangers of hubris and the fragility of greatness? Either way, the search for Atlantis is as much about understanding ourselves as it is about uncovering the past. The allure of Atlantis lies in its universal themes. It symbolizes humanity's pursuit of knowledge, power, and progress, as well as the consequences of failing to respect the balance of nature and morality. Whether it is remembered as a utopia, a cautionary tale, or a lost civilization that shaped the world, Atlantis continues to challenge us to dream bigger, search deeper, and question what we know about history. At the heart of the Atlantis mystery is the enduring curiosity that drives us as a species. It reminds us that history is not static but a dynamic and ever-evolving narrative, shaped by discoveries, interpretations, and the relentless human desire to uncover the unknown. The search for Atlantis is not just about finding a lost city, it's about expanding the boundaries of our understanding and embracing the infinite possibilities of the past. Now, it's your turn to join the conversation. What do you think about the evidence we've explored? Do you believe Atlantis was a real place, or do you view it as a metaphorical cautionary tale? Share your thoughts, theories, and insights in the comments below. Your perspective is a valuable part of this ongoing journey to unravel the mystery of the lost city of Atlantis. If this exploration has sparked your curiosity, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future videos. From ancient mysteries to modern discoveries, there's always more to uncover. The story of Atlantis may remain unsolved, but it continues to inspire us to search, question, and imagine a world beyond what we know. As we close this chapter, one thing is certain. The mystery of Atlantis endures, drawing us into a timeless tale of wonder, possibility, and the unending quest for truth. The evidence may not provide all the answers, but it certainly raises more questions worth exploring. Together, let's keep the search alive and the story of Atlantis at the forefront of our imaginations.